Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Wednesday now, I think. Let me see. I like to be correct. Yeah, Wednesday, October 2nd. Oh, I think it's my mother-in-law's birthday. So happy birthday to her. Hi, how are you guys? Hope you're well. It's day 2 of, oh my God, they're upset that I said something about abortion on Twitter. Oops. Man, these people are a little bit touchy over that stuff. Good evening, morning, Jack. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm amused.
Oh yeah.
I've been mostly off Twitter for the last 2 days, and not by choice. It's just I've just been doing other shit or not feeling well, so I'm laying down or playing video games. Every so often I'll go back and check Twitter. And my Twitter's been blown up for 2 fucking days, man.
No.
Because I made a joke about white women being irresponsible, and that's why they need abortion.
Oh, well, I think women in general are irresponsible. Oh, I mean, yeah, you're awful, monkey.
I'm a bad monkey. Well, it finally happened. There's something that happens anytime I talk about abortion. Anytime I talk about abortion, one woman will come forward and tell me her abortion story.
Oh God, why?
Because they think that's going to change my mind.
No,
and in this,
I don't want to hear how you carved out some baby out of your vagina.
Well, I actually have a theory about that, but hang on, Jack. Today's was because I'd made the joke about them being irresponsible. I was raped when I was 15. Tell me how that was irresponsible of me. I didn't say it was. Havoc, hi, says hi. Welcome to the show. And thank you for the donation. I was responding to Alyssa Milano, right? Alyssa Milano was 20 years old, or in her 20s, somewhere in her 20s, when she had not 1, but 2 abortions. Because she said if she hadn't have done those, if she hadn't have had those abortions, she wouldn't have been free to be who she was.
A murderous whore?
I feel like that's proof enough that some women do it just for convenience. They do it just because they were irresponsible. And here's my thing. Even with this poor chick who got raped, and I'm sorry you got raped. I don't think it's a good thing that you did. I think that's horrible. And if you want to limit abortion to only cases of rape, I can get on board with that. I'm not the happiest about it because I don't blame the baby, but I don't think it's right to force a woman to carry in a rape child. You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
But I haven't seen one of these assholes who actually thinks it should only be, or that it should be limited to these. They like to use those examples. Oh, they love to use them. What about if somebody was raped? Okay, are you saying that you want to limit it to rape? No, of course not. All right, then stop saying that. How about you bring up something relevant? How about you bring up something where you are willing to limit it? And if you're not, how about you just willing to say, I support it in all cases? Does it just make you feel like a shit human being to say that? Or why do you lie about it? This is what bugs me about this conversation, Jack.
Well, they're the same people that don't want to actually see the procedure and see how they do it, because it's pretty fucking gruesome.
Well, I had this theory just a minute ago, Jack. I think maybe it all started because it was around the same time. I mean, this was back in the 60s, late 60s. I think these 2 lesbians were playing with a vacuum.
Oh, no.
And the one lesbian said, "You got your vacuum in my vagina." And the other one said, "You got your vagina on my vacuum." Bam. Just like Reese's peanut butter cups, they just can't stop eating them.
And that's how the Flowbee was invented.
That's how it all started. I'm pretty sure that's science. You can look it up.
Oh, I believe you. No, I don't know, man. I knew this chick about 15 years ago. She'd had 4 abortions when she was in her early 20s.
Damn.
And I knew her when she was in her mid 20s, and it really fucked her up, like really badly. And
well,
she ended up being a giant whore, married a crackhead, like you do.
this is something else that I've heard. It's one of the hardest decisions women ever have to make. Like, why? I don't understand why.
Well, if it's not a hard decision, then you're a sociopath.
Well, this is the thing, though. If it's just a fetus, it's not really a person. It's basically birth control. I was actually told by one of these assholes, having an abortion is being responsible. Like, what?
No.
Really?
No, you should have been responsible before you got pregnant.
Andrew Joyner, thank you so much. Who says, good morning, my right-wing compatriots. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Terry Diamandis, thank you so much. I think the rule should be that you only get one. It's called abortion, not multiple abortions. There you go.
True story.
Well, no, I don't understand why it's the hardest decision you'll ever make if it's basically just birth control. I have never put on a condom and like had my whole life fucked up because I wore it. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't really enjoy condoms. They're not fun to wear. That's why I had 3 kids by the time I was 22. But I've never masturbated and been like, oh my God, look at all those kids that I could have had.
I'm a murderer.
I'm a mass. This is what I really don't get, because there's a lot of it's seen as just a basic form of birth control. None of them will say that, though. None of them will say it. But it's what you mean when you're talking about, hey, they're too poor to actually have that baby. So you're talking about birth control. No, it's not birth control. What do you mean then? What is it?
They dressed it up with family planning.
Family planning, yes. Planned Parenthood. Yes, unplanned parenthood. I love it. South Park had it right with their play on that.
Yeah, irresponsible parenthood.
But and again, I don't want to talk about abortion all the time. This is day 3 for fuck's sake, or at least show 3. Right? See, Jack, what happened? I made this joke 2 days ago now, and for the first 12 hours, nobody gave a shit. And actually, for the first 18 hours or so, and then it got retweeted by somebody who didn't like what I said, and then all the liberal douchebags came out of the woodwork to tell me what
they always do, because they got lots of free time.
Well, they had to come tell me what a horrible person I am. I was told that I had the most sexist, racist tweet. Thank you for that.
Award winning. All right.
Yeah. It's amazing how pissed off they get, but how unwilling they are to just say what they're actually trying to say. This one person, they brought up, they did what everybody does when they go to the abortion argument. Oh, but sometimes people need it for medical reasons. And this one actually, at least they included poverty. They were a little bit more honest about it. Poverty and rape and abuse. They actually said abuse, which was a weird one to me. Like, that's odd. But I'm like, okay. Are you willing to limit it to just those things? Well, of course not, man. There's other things. Like, stop. Do you support abortion in all cases? Because if you do, then just say that. Stop trying to make yourself feel better about supporting abortion. Why do you feel bad about supporting it? Why do you have to try to justify it morally? Oh, no, hey, sometimes women are raped. Yes, sometimes women are raped. And if you're saying that that's the only time you support abortion, all right, we can talk about that. But if that's not what you're saying, then you're being a disingenuous shitbag. Sanguine, thank you so much. Quote, every sperm is sacred. Every sperm is great. If a sperm is wasted, God gets quite irate. Let the heathen spill theirs on the dusty ground. That's in quote, Sanguine. What's that from? I'm assuming that's from something. But yeah, I don't understand why, if it's not really a baby, why it's a hard decision. Because yeah, when I masturbate, I've never. I mean, I felt a little guilty before I realized, everybody does it and it's okay. You have that little tinge of guilt you get for playing with yourself.
I don't have that problem.
I don't anymore. I used to, like when I was 13 or so, when I first started. And then I was like, this is fun. Why don't we do this all the time? Monty Python
joystick.
Oh, that's Monty Python. Okay, from The Meaning of Life. Thank you so much. That's where the quote came from. No, but look, abortion people out there, relax. Right now, you can still vacuum it out. You'll be fine. Just relax.
Well, the abortion people that get really angry are usually the ones that have had one.
Well, like I said, go ahead.
I think a lot of their anger comes from the fact that they feel morally a little dirty because, on some level, that was going to be a person.
Well, and you know what? I think you're probably right about that. But why are you supporting something that morally makes you feel dirty?
Because they're stupid and brainwashed.
This is the other part that bugs me about it is the argument that they use is, it's my body, it's my choice. Well, how many of you support prostitution? Johnny Hellcat, thank you so much. I wasn't masturbating. I was cleaning it, and it just went off. I've had that problem.
True.
I've had that problem. No, when it comes to my body, my choice, I don't think there's a better argument or a better situation where that can be applied than prostitution.
Yeah.
It is literally her body, her choice. And you don't see Alyssa Milano up there. Whores deserve rights too. It's amazing how many times you don't see a wife yelling about how we should have whores.
Well, they're not real people, so.
I look, I've never used a whore. To my knowledge, I don't know for a fact that I've ever seen a whore. I've seen a lot of women who I'm pretty sure were streetwalkers, but I've never seen one that I can say absolutely I know she was a hooker, right? But I support their right to sell their puss because it is her body, her choice. You're literally not talking about anything else at that point. Just her selling her pussy. And you have these my body, my choice people. They aren't interested in prostitutes having that same ability. I haven't seen them take prostitution to the Supreme Court.
I think that'll probably happen at some point. They'll probably try and legalize it. There's a lot of groups that try and do that now.
We're getting a more vocal community on that.
Mm-hmm.
But even when it comes to drugs are getting pushed faster. Where with I've never understood the prostitution thing. From when I first learned what it was, and like, well, why is that illegal? I don't understand. And as I got older, it just made it more confusing to me.
It's because it's hard to tax.
Yeah, I suppose so. Maybe they need to get little meters on their puss.
No, you get a license and you pay like $1,000 a year or something.
Well, yeah, that's what they'll end up doing. And they'll also, it's a public health thing. Well, he decided to put his dick in there, didn't he?
Yeah, don't marry a dude that's going to cheat on you. How's that?
Sanguine, thank you. Sluts are just whores that are bad at capitalism, so it makes sense a lot of them are socialists and commies.
Let's not go shaming sluts now.
Sluts provide a valuable resource, but he's not wrong. They tend to be dumb.
Yeah, they're dumb and they tend to be dirty too.
Yeah, charge, man. If you don't just give it away like that, what's wrong with you women?
Well, some of them get dinner.
I suppose so. Formerly Rodline, thank you so much. Who says Luke Skywalker's pro-abortion? So I'm confused.
He gets it from his dad.
Yeah.
He cut down a bunch of younglings.
Oh, and I don't know if I said thank you to Sanguine a moment ago. Thank you so much for that donation. I was trying to read it before it popped off this screen, so I didn't have to take it over to that screen. And I forget if I said thank you, but thank you so much. No, but I'm absolutely in favor of legalizing whores. Whores should be legal, and the same justification is already there. We already have the justification for it.
Yeah, I think they should probably have it licensed, and you have to have medical checkups occasionally.
Sure,
to maintain your license, just like the porn industry does. That way, it'll help. Keep track of the various diseases. Keep the license affordable, like fishing, and it'll make things a little easier because you really don't want a bunch of unchecked skanks. I mean, there's a lot of whores around my neighborhood because there's a lot of crackheads and homeless people.
How you doing, Polly?
Doing all right. How are you guys?
We're good. We're talking whores.
Nice.
No, I'm all. Yeah, you'd probably have to have some kind of licensing thing. You'd definitely have to have medical checkups, like what once a month, once every 3 months, something like that, to
Yeah, and I'd be
maintain your
fine with that
license.
being paid for by the state
Yeah,
because that's a public health issue. So yeah, and if somebody's got the HIV, they need to be, told that they can't be a pro whore anymore, or
you know
something.
the dumbest argument I ever heard against prostitution was, "Don't you care about trafficking? Like you think legalized whores is going to cause a trafficking? You do know we have a trafficking issue now, right? But somehow legalizing it and bringing whores into the mainstream and letting them be, well, professional, is going to cause trafficking to get worse." I suppose you're the same people who think that getting rid of prohibition made illegal alcohol worse. There's just stills all over the country now, and people driving cross state lines to get away from the police with their shine in the back of the car.
Yeah. Well,
Fucking morons.
I think human trafficking is going to be a problem regardless because there's less punishment than for drug offenses. So until they step up the punishments for it, plus if you had legalized prostitution, you'd have a reason to go in and check on some places because you'd have to make sure they had the proper paperwork.
Sure. And now what you have is you just have the whole thing underground. Yeah. That would never help the human traffickers, keeping everything in the dark. You dumb motherfuckers.
Look at how the mafia got to power by bootlegging.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when drugs don't pay off quite like they used to because of legalized marijuana, now they're into human trafficking more, and they're moving more and more people that way.
But hey, look, legalizing prostitution is going to make a whole bunch of women get trafficked to our country, forced into whoring legally, which I don't quite understand.
No, because then they could talk to a medical professional, and they'd have to be alone with medical professional, and they can explain, "Hey, this person's trafficking me."
You know why I think whores are illegal? Wives.
Yep, women.
Mostly white women. Politicians have wives. You do not want to be the politician out there going, "We need to legalize whores," because your wife's gonna be like, "Excuse me." Because even talking about this, if you mention that you're in favor of prostitution, like, oh, you just want to bang horse. No, I have no interest in putting my dick in somebody I had to pay to put it in. I don't look down on people who do, but it's just I like being able to do it for free, and that's why sluts exist. Then they would complain to OSHA. Yeah, can you imagine the OSHA standards for hookers?
Oh God! Yeah, your corner has to have PPE over in the corner next to a first aid kit and a fire extinguisher,
an eye wash station.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably a whole face wash station for them.
Hey, look, sometimes you get that shit everywhere. Got that neck wash station over there. Oh, and hand sanitizer everywhere.
I used to work with this dude, and when he was in Thailand, he's like, "Yeah, the whores, when you get them into the hotel room, they'll go in and take a shower right in front of you." And I was like, "Yeah, they're washing the previous dude off."
Yeah. I mean,
it's not because she's got a cleanliness thing. It's because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in Thailand, and she's washing the last guy's jizz off of her. That's all that is. And he's like, "Oh, I never thought of that. How did you not think of that, you fucking idiot?"
Because he saw naked women showering.
Yeah.
Men are stupid sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Polly says, not Polly. Poppy says, get good at BJs and your man won't go to hookers. Right? It depends. It depends. Do you do anal? Because there's some who do. Just throwing that out there. I've seen that on HBO did a show about hookers one time. And a lot of them is like, yeah, they come here because I'll take it in the butt.
Yep. Or the chicks that swallow.
Yeah. Yep.
Just find out what your partner likes and try and adapt accordingly. Be flexible, willing to try new things. A lot of
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is stagnation in a relationship.
if he wants you to swallow and then go gargle, how bad can it be? Look, I've never tasted it myself, so maybe it's the most horrible thing on earth. But come on, it can't be that bad. Come on, it makes babies. Everybody loves babies.
Well, let's not get carried away.
It's like putting 1,000,000 babies in your tummy at once.
You know who doesn't like babies? Abortionists.
Abortionists and commies.
Yeah, communists, yeah.
Commies, Nazis. Anyhow.
Well, they liked white baby.
Well, yeah. Really, really white ones with blonde hair.
We should ask Badger about that.
Hookers and O's will do what the wives won't. A lot of times, yeah. You know what's amazing to me is the ones who talk about how men come to them and just talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, you could have gone to a therapist, but I guess the therapist won't blow you, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about your kids while the therapist is tonguing your nutsack, you know?
That's true. That's true. Monkey, that was fucked up. Which part? You have to be a lot more specific, Poppy. I
think that was just a broad generalization.
That could be, and that's fair. That's fair. I felt bad about myself when I came up with the Reese's thing. Yeah. I felt a little bad. Like, that's horrible. That's horrible. Anyhow, so again, I didn't want to get on the whole women thing again. I got to go put something else on my Facebook. So sorry, on my Twitter, so that it stops blowing up with this stupid abortion shit. Which, by the way, this will blow up for like the next month. If you've ever made an abortion tweet, you'll know that happens. Somebody will find it a month from now and be like, "You are the worst person ever. I hope you die."
Ugh.
Yeah, that makes
why are my exes
sense.
Contacting you?
You're against abortion. I hope you die. I've actually had that before because I'm the awful person in that situation. Anyhow,
yeah, and yet pro-abortion people are anti-death penalty more often than not,
which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, do we have to start killing people with coat hangers instead?
Yeah.
Because I'm down for that.
You got to get them. You got to get them early. It's like that. What was that Tom Cruise movie where they got crimes based on thoughts?
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yeah, you just have some psychics check out and see if your baby's going to be a serial killer, and then just coat hanger that motherfucker. Oh God. YouTube, I hope you stopped listening by now, because the first 10 minutes wasn't really that bad.
You're already demonetized. What are you talking about?
Dude, man, they've hit all of them lately. Even my last two Lords of the Nights little shits.
Yeah, it's a purge because election season's coming up. They got to rig the election.
Well, it is amazing how many things you can search for and not actually find.
Yeah. I've typed in actual titles of videos before and they don't come up.
Yeah, Razorfist brought that up in his one video with the TYT thing, which, by the way, I think should be seen far and wide. Ranting Monkey, I think you got me sick, jerk. Unless it was something I said, I doubt it was me, Ebony.
Well, you never know.
That's why you should practice safe YouTubing. I'm not trusting Miss Cleo with the justice system. Hey, we're not talking about real justice. We're talking about social justice.
That's even worse.
Oh God. No, I was watching some Ben Shapiro before I started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know how they do kind of a round table with the people who work for Daily Caller? Yeah. They do those like twice a month or something like that. And they had one just recently based on the whole Ukraine thing.
Yeah.
It's titled something like Ukraine in the Membrane, which I was like, haha, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I really like how they have discussions on that show. Because even when they disagree with each other, it's at least civil. They'll shut the fuck up and let the other person talk.
Yeah, of course. Because they respect each other. And they assume that the other person across from them has good intentions. You know, they're not just like repulsively evil people. They demonstrate civil, normal human interaction.
Oh, Daily Wire. I'm sorry. I called it the Daily Caller. My bad.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I get them all mixed up. They have daily. Pick another name. How about every 24-hour wire? I would understand what that meant. But no, Andrew Clavin was on as one of the people. I forget who the young dude was. He's smug, and I don't like him at all.
Michael Knowles.
Knowles, yes, thank you. And then there was Ben, and then I forget the other dude's name.
Jeremy Boring.
You are much better at this than I am.
No, I watched that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
There was a good part near the end where they're talking about Trump, and even Ben in this, he's like, "Yeah, I'll probably vote for Trump in the next election." And then he said he made a mistake on Trump because Trump was a Democrat for most of his life, an avowed Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, he'll probably be, liberal, and he hasn't turned out to be that way at all. And so Ben's like, yeah, I made a mistake on that. And Andrew asked the question, if what Trump has faced, and I don't think that the question ever got presented properly, but based on what Trump has faced, has it really changed your mind at all about Trump? But the older guy, the one Boring, what's his name?
Jeremy Boring. He
said something I really liked about it. Something I've tried to maintain, where he's basically talking about principles. He's like, look, even if I think Trump has been screwed by all these people, it doesn't change my underlying beliefs. If I thought he was wrong on this, I'm going to think he's wrong on that. I'm going to still think he's wrong on it, even if Democrats are hounding the shit out of him over it.
Yeah.
And it was nice to hear somebody say that, because I am tired of the idea that, I have no problem with fighting dirty. I really don't. You can fight as dirty as you want to, as long as you still maintain principle.
Yeah.
And too many people are willing to sell out their principles on stuff like that. If you didn't like Trump because of who he was when he got into office, he's still that same guy. He's still that same dude. And if you go ahead.
No, I just think a lot of people are fed up and they're just giving up hope. And that's why they're selling out their principles.
I wonder if they ever had him in the first place.
Yeah, some people are morally flexible. They start out with morals, but they're willing to throw them out when necessary.
To me, it's always, and I've watched this throughout my life, watching the political parties change their positions on things. Mm-hmm. Just because their president is doing it now. One of the biggest things one of the biggest times I saw this and laughed my ass off, all through Obama's first campaign, one of the things he bitched about was the Bush tax cuts for the rich. The Bush tax cuts for the rich, you guys. And then he gets into office. And instead of repealing them, what does he tell us? Oh, I can't repeal those right now. It would be bad for the country. And all of his supporters who had been upset about the Bush tax cut for the rich were suddenly out there going, yeah, man, you can't repeal those right now. It'd be bad for the economy and stuff.
Well, can you imagine if Trump did a drone strike on an American citizen on foreign soil right now?
Oh, sure. Or what about just going and declaring war on somebody like Libya without actually declaring war, taking out their leader?
Or an ambassador dies in Benghazi again. That they would be all over him for that. Instead, it's what does it matter when they do it? People say it's whataboutism. I don't care anymore. You have to have standards.
It is a whataboutism. I won't deny that. But sometimes whataboutisms are legit.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an example. I was watching Married with Children. One of the episodes that's been on recently is the one where Bud breaks Steve's window. And when Al finds out, he goes, what do you have to say for yourself? And Bud's answer is, Kelly's failing English. That is a bad whataboutism. She did something wrong, so she's Polly.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You're just crunching. Kind of loud.
Well,
Kinda.
I'm
Super loud.
I'm sitting here chewing ice, and I got my mic muted because I'm a polite man that understands stream etiquette. But up in chat, like I got Ebony saying, "Cough if you're alive." Polly, are you alive? And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll unmute the mic, and everyone will know I'm here.
There you go, guys. He's here chewing some ice.
Yeah, go back to muting if you're gonna chew ice, because that was fucking loud.
That was really loud.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. There's times that whataboutism is legit, and then there's times that it's just a distraction.
Yeah, well, a lot of people use it as a defense against whatever they perceive as an okay action. Oh, you're just doing whataboutism, and you can hear it in the tone, like, no, this is fine. This is fine. You're just saying that, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a lot of times you have to call people out on being hypocrites.
Yeah, of course. And that's the part of it. I've gotten so annoyed with the whataboutism accusation, because like I said, there's times that it's absolutely okay to bring up.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Obama supporters who hated the Bush tax cuts but are now defending it because Obama tells them it's okay for right now, that is a legit whataboutism. What about a month ago when you were talking about this is the worst thing ever? That's legit.
Here's my take on it. It's not whataboutism when somebody excuse me, like let's say I was sitting around with some of these news entertainers and six-figure salary punditry bastards, and they say, well, it's the tax cuts. Let's say it's like, I can't remove those tax cuts, and it's fine that he doesn't remove those tax cuts. He's fine. What? But you didn't think it was okay when this guy did it? Oh, that's whataboutism. No, I'm arguing not about the individual and their tax cuts. I'm arguing that you're proceeding on a false premise. I don't think you care about the tax cuts at all. I think you're just trying to argue against the man, not the policy.
Exactly. Thank you.
And it's like, well, what makes you say that? Because your position completely switched as soon as the man switched. You don't have a problem with the policy. You've got a problem with the man. It's not whataboutism. It's an example of how you change suits depending on what song is being played.
All right, Polly, stop showing off. You're smarter than us. That's not fair. Like, I would never come up with that. I'd just be like, you're a douche.
Well,
only a douche sits there going,
that is what happened.
Whataboutism? Shut up, douche. See?
Well, you're both right.
Oh yeah, they're douches. Don't get like Jack. You're
both
not
right
in pointing that
out. No, to me, whataboutism is when you bring up something that's unrelated and you're just trying to make them look bad.
As a distraction technique, then
yes,
calling out someone's whataboutism is perfectly right. To say, oh, well, this kind of environmentalism, this environmental policy that you're putting forth is a bad idea. Why? Because look at what China and India are doing. Oh, that's whataboutism. No, I'm arguing how you're proceeding on. We need the premise of we need to fix the environment. What you're suggesting won't fix the environment, because no matter how hard you work, China and India are going to undo that tiny little drop in the polluted ocean that you're attempting to fix. I'm not bringing it up to distract. I'm bringing it up to say why your policy is useless.
And that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Now, if I were to bring it up, like, I don't know. Yeah, I like the way Kelly's failing English, or was that Kelly? Was that her name? Like, yeah,
yes.
It's like, hey, Polly, you said this really horrible thing. Well, Monkey talks about Downsy eggs all the time. It's like, what the fuck does that got to do with anything? That's just attempting, like, shiny thing, look over here, ignore what I just did.
This is why I support Trump doing Fast and Furious 2, Tokyo Drift. And he should start selling guns to some, like, triads or something. And then if anybody bitches, he'll be like, hey, Obama did it. Set the precedent. It's cool. Don't want to do a whataboutism.
Like somebody brought up Becca brought about. Biden was asked about Hunter's issues, and Biden did a total whataboutism and turns to Trump's phone call. With the thing, it's like, well, that doesn't change the fact people bring up, Joe Biden and so forth, and things that Adam Schiff has done. Adam Schiff is willing to accept foreign aid.
Oh, yeah.
To attack political opponents. He absolutely is. And bringing up the fact that they're doing it is like, well, that doesn't change that Donald Trump did it. No, I'm not arguing against that. What I'm pointing out is I don't think you actually care about these things at all. They're just a means to an end. And you will only enact, oh, well, this threatens our national security. I don't think you give a fuck about national security until it's being propagated by somebody you politically disagree with. When national security is being threatened by the political leader of your party, you seem fine with it. Which makes me think that you shouldn't be the one leading this charge.
Well, can we all agree that Adam Schiff looks like he'll sell you a crappy used car?
Oh.
That dude looks shifty as fuck. Like, he has like that serial killer smile, but at the same time, he looks like somebody that run a pool hall and have like 5 bookies in there, and there are probably drug deals out the back and stereos being stolen. Nothing about that dude looks legit.
If I found out Schiff was running Nigerian scams, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, I mean, it's all personal attacks, but you're not wrong. It's the bug eyes.
You know what?
With Schiff? His fucking weirdo bug eyes, man.
He looks like a penis with googly eyes glued on. I didn't do it. That's his genetics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speaking in ad homs, but I have a pretty good eye for people that I don't trust. And not only does he have a criminal head shape, he has no chin.
No.
And you really can't trust a man with no chin.
How do you not grow a beard when you look like that? How bad must he look?
Because then he would really look like a penis then. Because
it would just look like pubic hair.
His neck would look like the testicles.
And Becca brings up, like, I mean, how's he willing to accept foreign aid? Because just like Becca brought up, the Russian prank call by the two, what were they, radio show hosts or whatever,
man, that was
podcast hosts, I forget. But yeah, it's like we have picture naked Trump. Well, we should get in contact with it. It's like, oh, well, we knew it was a scam from the beginning. Bullshit.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, like you're literally recorded being willing to accept foreign aid. That would be like saying Trump arguing in defense of the Ukraine thing. Well, I never thought that he was going to take me seriously. Therefore, it's fine.
The dude looks like an evil version of Beaker from the Muppets. I don't trust him. I would trust Beaker because he seemed really genuinely nice. He was always worried about things. But Schiff is like the Mirror Universe version of him. He just looks like he should be rubbing his hands together maniacally and occasionally going, "Bwah!"
Schiff's not up in 2020, is he? For re-election?
I don't think so.
Fuck, I don't know. Wait, Schiff said he's not a senator, so yeah. He's in the House. He runs the House Intelligence Committee.
Yeah, why the fuck was I thinking he was a senator?
Yeah,
so he has to be up. You're absolutely
has to be, yeah.
Well, I mean, I wonder how he's done. Well, he's from what?
Look,
Monterey? Like that's gonna. I mean,
I don't know where the fuck he's from.
I don't think Schiff has enough testosterone to grow.
Oh my God, he's California's 28th congressional district since 2001. He ain't going nowhere.
Oh, he's in Beverly Hills, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, man, people.
Richo had a good question because he's Australian. How can they take Trump down for this when the Democrats are more guilty of way more heinous crimes? It's a game to politicians.
It's politics. It's not. Don't mistake this at all for the judicial system. This is a political system and a political thing that's going on. Impeachment is not about justice. It never has been. Can we all agree that the Republican representative from Texas was the eye patch? Should play Big Boss in the Metal Gear Solid movie.
I'm down with that.
Yes. Talking about Dan Crenshaw. He does have that look, and well, yeah.
I'd like him a lot more if he didn't have a love for red flag laws.
Yeah, well, I still think he got a bad rap on that. I think he should have been more skeptical of him to begin with.
Yeah.
But he was trying to make the case that we should talk about it. And, we can talk about it. They're stupid. There we go. We're done.
Yeah. Short conversation.
What you're talking about is...
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just looking at this, is like, yeah, did he vote for the 2003 invasion of Iraq? Yeah, of course he did. Most Congress people did. It's just, this is the Wikipedia quote. He said, if he regretted voting to invade, he answered, absolutely. Unfortunately, our intelligence was dead wrong on that, on Saddam at the time. The vote set in motion a cascading series of events which have had disastrous consequences. Did you read the white paper, sir?
Are you talking about Schiff?
Yeah.
Okay, we had switched to somebody else. So,
Well, I'm still on.
Which is clarifying for the audience.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were still on shift because I was reading there in the background. I don't. Hillary Clinton made the same claim, except she went further and said Bush lied. I'm gonna be willing to bet if we looked in Adam Schiff's comments upon it, he would go into the Bush administration lied to us. Did you read the white paper? Did you read the intelligence background report? I read it because it's
the white privilege paper.
That's the one, because it's been subsequently declassified. So, and I've read it. If you thought that was a justification to go to war, it's when they say our intelligence was wrong on that. So you did read the intelligence. I think everybody should be pressured on that, because the records are available how many senators and congressmen read it, because you had to go into a skiff to read it in DC. It was held at a secure location. You go there and you can read it as much as you want if you're an elected representative. But the idea is that you can't take a copy with you to disseminate and, that sort of thing. It's how they secure documents. Yes.
Why did the Huts have it? I mean, it's bad enough they had Luke hostage and had Han on ice for a while, but was it on Jabba's palace or just one of the little skiffs?
It's a nickname. It's a nickname for a signal secure room.
It's a dais.
So it was in the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, yes, it was.
You would think so, the way that these assholes don't read what they're supposed to. When
they're kind of dumb and lazy. So
they're very lazy to claim later, oh, our intelligence was wrong on that.
Yeah.
So the insinuation, because they all claim that. It's either Bush lied to us or the intelligence was wrong. Fucking CIA, huh? Oh, so you've read the CIA's report on that? Because I don't fucking think you did. You know how I know? Because we know how many fucking senators and congressmen actually went and opened the skiff room and looked, because they record them. Well, of course they do. You can't just let the fucking janitor roll in and start reading. You got to be somebody. You got to have fucking credentials to walk in there.
Yeah.
So five people went and read it.
Yeah.
You want to look at you want to see how many people approved the 2003 invasion of Iraq Authorization Act? It's fucking wild. So you all took it based on what? George W. Bush's State of the Union speech, where he said it was the case, and you just rolled along with it, and now you're going to decry it as a disaster with horrible results, cascading failure, as Schiff said? That just drives me fucking nuts. You weren't functioning as an elected representative. You should.
Do we know if Schiff was one of the people who read the white report or the white paper?
No, I don't personally know right now. And if he was, I'd be some goddamn surprise. But I would. The odds are he wasn't.
Probably not.
A betting man wouldn't if there's only 5 people, because the majority. I know the few who did vote against it are the 3 that I know of who did vote against it did go read it, because I want to see what's behind this, because this doesn't seem right. And after reading the 16-page paper that came up to like a fucking glossy report of them guys bad with very little intelligence underlying it, it's like, this isn't a cause to send thousands of men and women over there. Where's the connection to 9/11 in any of this? Anyway.
Yeah, I think Schiff's a dick for a whole lot of reasons. I'm not one of those people who it's like, well, the Iraq war thing and how we got into it and all that. That was never as big a deal for me. And I know we're talking about going into war and all that. But for me, with like Schiff's just a dirty little shitbag. And you can see it in how he runs the committee and stuff. One of the things that bothers me about this Congress currently, the Democrats who run these committees, they were talking about having hearings before they ever had any reason to have hearings. They were talking about impeaching before they ever had any reason to impeach.
They were talking about impeachment before inauguration.
Mm-hmm. They were talking about it before the election, before he won, before there was even the election was finalized in 2016.
Yeah,
and that's not how you do things. And at that time, it was because Donald Trump made a joke. Donald Trump asked the Russians to look into Hillary's emails. Yeah, he was making a joke about the fact that they found out the Russians were the ones who, I'm using air quotes, hacked the DNC.
No, Monkey, you know very well that jokes are forbidden.
I know, right? Hillary can talk about how she's on black people time. That's just a joke, y'all. She ain't racist, from Arkansas. There's no honkies from Arkansas that are racist. I just want to make sure you guys know that.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. That's a fact. But you'll notice Chelsea didn't come out a light brown.
Hopefully Bill didn't either.
Yeah.
That was pervy. Sorry.
That was nasty. I can't be the only one who doesn't think that what's the ugly Clinton kid name? Chelsea isn't Bill's, right? She's old enough I can call her ugly now, right?
Well, she's obviously Bill. She looks like him like a lot.
She doesn't look like Bill.
Yeah, she does.
She looks a lot like her mom. I don't know. They're all pretty ugly people, so it's kind of hard
like
for
Vince
me to
Foster.
gauge.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dude, what? She got 2 holes in her head?
Oh God. Anyhow, where are we at? Man, again, like I said, I haven't been on the Twitter, so I don't know what else going on over there these days. I miss it a little bit, but every time I go over there, it's like 30, 40 people yelling at me about abortion. So I was like, I don't care. I made a joke, and God, you guys get your panties in a wad. Maybe that's how you get pregnant. Johnson & Johnson's reached $20.4 million settlement in huge opioid case. Yay. How much do they think is going to go to the actual victims? If you guess none, you're right.
What victims? You mean the people that got addicted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or their family members after they died, after they OD'd on that shit. 2 Ohio counties are getting $10 million, reimbursement of $5 million in legal fees, and direct $5.5 million to nonprofits for opioid-related programs.
See, that's what I'm saying. Bring back the opium dens. It's not a den.
Why are we building another railroad?
Yes.
I'm just saying. You can go into a pharmacy with your fake prescription, and, or buy it from some hey man, want some drugs guy in an alley, or you can go lay down on a nice, comfortable bed and an Asian lady lights your pipe for you. I say the latter is better.
Maybe.
Think about it.
But maybe just getting away from opioids altogether is a better idea.
Well, I'm trying to be a practicalist about it.
So am I. What's not practical about not being high? It's actually the way we start out. Oh, speaking of that, I need to take my medicine. Nice segue there.
Hello, irony.
Yeah, no, none at all.
Hey, these are not opioids. These are nerve blockers. This is different. This is so I don't feel things, not so that I feel like I'm floating.
Hard day down at the sawmill. Go chase the dragon for a little while. What's wrong with that?
Have you ever met somebody that's an opium addict?
Not outside of fiction, no.
Yeah, they're wonderful people.
Yeah, enjoy not having anything you own anymore because they're going to steal everything that isn't nailed down.
Okay, this headline: Jamal Khashoggi is dead, but his political vision lives on. Can I ask you guys an honest question? until Khashoggi got killed in that consulate or wherever it was. Had you heard his name that you can remember?
No.
Is this the journalist guy?
Yeah, that fat former Saudi or whatever he was.
Yeah, no, I'd never heard of him.
I had unknowingly read his stuff, but I didn't know him by name.
People are treating him like he was Jesus or Muhammad or something.
The news entertainers are, because he's one of their elite class, and they found it to be a story that they could run with. That's what happened. It's nothing really, more than that.
But that's annoying to me.
Oh, of course, I agree. But I mean, it was remember how they ran to town with the GIF of Trump smashing the CNN guy, the GIF?
True. Yeah.
This is obviously a call for an attack on violence on the media. It's clear. And it's like, oh God, no, it's so not. But again, protected class. How dare you? Right.
You know why I think they run with Khashoggi? Because the other one that they had, what was the one where the guy went and shot up the newsroom? Where was that at? See, nobody even remembers.
I don't know.
You mean the guy that was reporting when the guy in Virginia blasted him when they were live?
No, not that one. There was some dude had a 15-year feud with his local paper.
Oh, really?
And yeah, how do you guys not know this story? You know this story.
I remember the story. I just don't remember any details of it.
Well, see, exactly. So what happened is this guy goes and he shoots up this newsroom, and the news jumped all over it. Like, see what Donald Trump caused? Annapolis. Thank you, Prospero. It was in Annapolis. And then it turns out, no. He'd been feuding with them for more than a decade, if I remember correctly.
Would they not publish his letters in the editorial or something?
No, they had published a report about him where he was accused of being, I want to say, abusive to a wife or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And he sued them and everything and lost. And he eventually lost his fucking mind and went there and shot him up. Now, if he had just been somebody who'd gone and shot up that press room, that'd be all we hear. But they'd have forgot Khashoggi's ass a long time ago. But that one fell through, so they had to grab onto the fat Muslim dude. Because an American story is just a better story.
There was it makes me flash back to an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So you have the doctor, Dr. Julian Bashir, and he's the quintessential nice guy. He's the Federation typical Starfleet officer, very optimistic is what I mean. Naive, if you will, right? And there's this secret organization called Section 31, and they're like Ultra Mossad CIA of the Federation. Okay. They're on Romulus, and the guy says, "Didn't you hear me?" The doctor says, "Didn't you hear me? I just told you that he's trying to get a hold of biological weapons." And the intelligence officer turns around and looks at him and says, "I heard you. Wait a minute. You think it's a surprise to me that Romulan military officers are trying to get a hold of biological weapons? Take a look around, doctor. These are not nice men we're dealing with. They would like nothing better than to see our civilization fall. We have to play dirty because that's the only way they play." And he just told him right the fuck off. Take a look around. Look who you're talking about. The news reports of Khashoggi made me think of that episode again and again because of how badly he dressed him down for being naive. It's like, can you believe the crown prince of Saudi Arabia ordered someone's death? Take a look around. Who the fuck do you think you're talking? No, it doesn't remotely surprise me at all. This is just the most recent time that somebody had evidence. You don't think that people get beaten and whipped and killed on a regular fucking basis for opposing people in the Middle East? Wake the fuck up.
Nah, man, it don't happen. They're Muslims, and that is a very peaceful religion. People have no. I mean, Monkey, you talk about it. It's like people don't travel. They've never had to deal with a war. The over comforted millennials. Kind of notion, right? It's very much along those lines. You are living in a very gilded world, and you should be very happy that the rule of law, 99 times out of 100, reigns supreme. But yet they still have the nerve to say things like, "This man's a tyrant," about Donald Trump, and it's like,
as I've said again and again, lots of other people pointed out, a circuit court judge can overrule him, and they have to file papers to try and get it undone, and then it still doesn't work, and that's the end of it. The fuck are you talking about? No one's being dragged to a fingernail academy to be fucking whipped into submission.
Monkey, you know what I'm hearing here is a denial of Trump's fascism.
That's true.
It blows my mind. Who the fuck do you think most of the people in this in the world are? Oh, can you believe that they denied the people in Hong Kong their permission, their little piece of paper to protest? The Chinese government, that's the least of what they did. You look at that as some kind of effrontery. Are you insane? Leave Starbucks every once in a while.
Why?
Remember, I told you I've been watching old Crowder, the old Crowder and Rogan things. Crowder and Rogan, they brought up when Crowder debated Christopher Titus. And I went, wow, fuck, I haven't seen that in forever. And so I started watching it the other day, but I didn't have time. So I went and I watched it today. Well, tonight, actually, not too long ago. And there was something that Christopher Titus, they were having a gun debate, guys. And for those of you who don't know, Titus has this idea that what we need to make the world safer, at least our world safer, is a national gun registry. And Crowder kept saying that's going to lead to mandatory
confiscation.
Confiscation of guns.
Yeah.
And Titus kept bringing up this thing. He kept saying, so you think your government is tyrannical? And Stephen's like, no, I think it has the ability to become so. And I think we live in a world, at least in the U.S., I can't speak for all Western civilization, but I can for here in the U.S. We have this idea that our government, it does the right thing all the time. That's why Trump is so bad for us right now, because he's doing the wrong things. He's doing the wrong things. You have these fucking spoiled little shitbags of children who literally had they think it's being poor because they have the iPhone 8. They didn't get to get the 11 when it came out.
Oh no.
What kind of monster parent are you?
They have no idea what strife is, and when you try to explain, you have people who actually argue about how horrible Saudi Arabia is. Like, you're right, but those same people like Iran's really not that bad. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
No, who was it? Communist in space that said he wanted to go to North Korea because the reason they're poor is because of U.S. interventionism.
Yes, it's all us. There's nothing else wrong with North Korea, man.
No, it's just we're picking on him. But he was willing to go there and, hang out or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you do over there. There's no food or entertainment.
Yeah, be careful. You're going to come back beaten retarded.
Yeah, and then die.
Oops. No, they God, man. Look, I have no what's the word I'm looking for? Illusions about the world around us. Like, I don't know if I'd even call Saudi Arabia the lesser evil than, say, Iran. But I certainly know they're evil. And I don't excuse Iran's behavior by, Donald Trump is being nice to Saudi Arabia, so obviously they're the bad guys, and Iran is the good guys. Are you out of your fucking mind?
These kids have never seen abject poverty in a real sense, because even poor people here in the States are pretty wealthy. If you make 32 grand, you are in the 1% of the world.
Yeah, but hey, don't bring that up, man.
So they've never seen poverty. They've never seen real government crackdowns. I mean, China is actually holding back a little bit on these protests out there.
Oh, they really are, because they got the eyes of the world on them at the moment. BG says if you're willing to go to North Korea, you were retarded to begin with. I'm not going to disagree with that necessarily. Yeah. No, but I did think that Christopher Titus debate was kind of telling, because his whole point was there would never be a time that the government's going to come try to take your guns just because they're registered. And then along came Beto. I wonder how.
Beto.
I wonder how Titus, I don't follow Christopher Titus, so I don't know this, but I wonder how he responded to Beto saying, yes, we're going to come take those guns.
I don't think he cared.
Well, Titus's thing is, look, they're never going to come take your guns because the military won't go along with that. Like, it's not a military issue at that point.
Well, we don't like to believe that, but
well, at that point, it's a law enforcement thing.
Yeah.
It only becomes a military issue if you decide you're going to stand up to the government with your guns. And even then, it's got to be a huge deal. It's not just going to be some dumbass in his house who's not going to give up his guns. They'll just go in with a SWAT team and blast his ass out.
Yeah. It would have to be organized.
But his whole thing, the government or the military will never go for it. Like, you're probably right. But you know what? At that point, it doesn't matter. We're talking about criminal justice at that point. If Beto gets elected and he makes it illegal to own those guns where you have to turn them in, and they have a national registry of who all owns them, guess whose doors they're knocking on?
Yep.
I've never understood the idea of a national registry will that'll keep us safer. Like, what? How? By that thinking, why don't we fingerprint everybody?
Or take DNA swabs. So
DNA swabs of everyone. Yeah.
Faster.
Yeah, I mean that should be on our list of things to do to keep us all safe.
Yeah, mandatory. That's not terrifying in any respect.
No, that ain't scary at all to have a government that does a lot of secretive shit having your information like that. Am I the only one that thinks the government should be a lot more open?
They should absolutely be more open. They should also be smaller, but that's just my opinion.
Well, when Adam Schiff came out and he's like, everybody should see the whistleblower report. I'm like, you're right. I'm fairly certain it's only supposed to go to the intelligence committees, though. That's actually what those reports are for. They're supposed to literally just go to the intelligence committees, both Senate and House. But I'm all for releasing that shit to everyone. Why would that be a secret? And there's parts of it that are redacted. I'm like, what? Okay, what is redacted in there? A spy's name?
Yeah, that's probably some secret, like spy ops.
We have a little too many secrets, is all I'm saying. What is this? Next level health campaign. Warnings on individual cigarettes to help smokers quit.
See? The minutes of your life that you've lost as you smoke down.
But it's the end of life.
Yeah, it's those diaper years. Nobody cares about those.
We're not talking about, losing part of your teens.
That's what everyone's going to think when but it won't stop.
No, it won't.
It's just somebody's new idea. And the whole thing is like research strategies suggest, and it's all a bunch of like-minded people who run publications. And this, of course, as you can see, is The Guardian, because of course it is, right? And it's the media has more in common with the Ministry of Truth from 1984 than it has with any kind of journalistic fantasies that we all hold.
Oh, I don't hold any journalistic fantasies anymore. I know what you're talking about. The notion of going out there and telling the truth and getting the story. No, I don't believe in that at all.
Yeah. It's like, why are you talking about this? And as you scroll down, like, it's because it's like mine. It's like the last gasp. Australian council bans smoking in public places. That this is a proposition in Australia, this idea, and this is Australian research. And then vaping debate rages in Australia as critics accuse government of smoke screen. Like that's how much they print on this, or publish, I guess, on this particular subject. It's, it would be the same thing. Like if you clicked on a Trump article, they would all the way down the left side of the screen would be relevant articles that are all related. It's like-minded people who are all propagandizing and like, well, this is a public health concern, because they're trying to shape what the public thinks. They really do view themselves as ministers of truth and information.
They do. Yeah. I've talked about that, about how many people when they go into journalism school, what they tell you is that they want to change the world. Like, that's not your job,
right? I mean, when David Hogg was like, I'm going to Harvard for what? Journalism. I want to become an activist journalist. I'm like, so a journalist, because that pretty much is journalism.
It is, yeah. It's
Like,
all it is now.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a mouthpiece for a certain idea, promoting a certain reality, and it wanting to shape public opinion. It's like, well, what? I don't have the right to print that? No, you do. What I find extremely bothersome is that and we're not talking about the government shutting you down. It's the silencing of voices of people that would speak against you. And you're mortgaging the past credibility of journalists for the sake of proffering your ideas.
Caramon in chat says, but Polly, you're the conspiracy theorist for thinking logically. Yeah, of course you are.
Well, and let's not forget that I'm all the ists and phobes at the same time, right?
He is. He's basically Alex Jones.
Well, Polly's a very busy guy. He's got a lot going on.
The idea that you go into journalism because you want to shape the world is scary, but that's been that way for a long time. Yeah. I've heard that from people going into journalism school, because you'll see them now and then on TV or in a news article or something like that. I want to change the world. Then you want politics, sweetheart. That's where that goes. When you're doing it as a journalist, then you're being a dirty, underhanded little shitbag is what you're being. And again, this isn't new, guys. The news has been selective. Let's use that word. For my entire fucking life, it's always been selective, but now it's just like they don't even care anymore. They used to at least try to pretend.
Oh, it's gone totally nut bar. Completely. I was telling Jack about this, right? I was watching this CBS News special on the Kennedy assassination. It was some 10, 12 years following the 1963 assassination, and it was on the Warren Report. Critics have risen up. There's been more and more questioning. Books have been printed. Let's go over the particular findings of the Warren Report and see if the so-called conspiracy theories and critics, if it has any validity. And it was a 3-night special. It's up on YouTube if anyone's interested in watching it, just called the Warren Report CBS Inquiry, right? And I could hear the bias, and I'm sort of not a buff, something short of being a buff of the Kennedy assassination. I like looking into it, and the details I find very interesting. So I notice when you omitted something there. Oh, this thing happened. It's Walter Cronkite hosting. So you can see the bias. Yes. But I was having fun imagining while I was watching this, if it was CNN or MSNBC or Fox doing it, like the round table of idiot pundits that they would have, and and let's not forget about the racism angle of this, and we need to think about
yeah, of course.
I hear you. The bias is there, and that is the defense that they journalists use. Well, we're all human beings, and some bias is always going to creep in. To the degree that you're displaying now, to the point where public trust in the media to convey the information accurately is at 10%. That far gone. We're not questioning absolutism. We're talking about degree of bias. They've gone fucking completely fruitcakery on it.
Yeah. They like to pretend that the press and the executive branch have always gotten along. That's also not been true in my lifetime. Reagan absolutely hated the press. And they had a very adversarial relationship with one another. But I cannot imagine what the press would look like under Reagan if it acted like they do today. Because at least they had to try to pretend that they weren't biased back then. So that when people brought up the liberal bias in the media, which, by the way, guys, again, not a new concept. That has been around my entire fucking life. But when people bring it up, like, no, look, we balanced it. Now they're just like, fuck Trump. He's a racist. And where you actually have their news anchors going, he's a racist. He's a white supremacist. He actually said there's good people in the Nazi party. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? None of that is real, but you're going to say it like it is.
Very nice people, Trump said of the mafia. Just don't owe them money. Trump, who praised the mob in 2013 on David Letterman, has a habit of seeing the good in those deemed beyond the pale. You're just.
What do you think that
Donald Trump behaving like a mafia boss? Adam Schiff of the Democratic chair and the Democratic chair of the House Intelligence Committee thinks so.
What do you think the chances are when Trump said that to Letterman, he was joking?
Well, you know what's funny about that, actually? I don't know to what degree he was. Okay, so this is 2013, right? He's a Manhattan developer and real estate guy and construction. He had dealt with the mafia knowingly or unknowingly because the concrete club, quote unquote, of the families ran construction at that time in New York. He was either knowingly or unknowingly paying them the fuck off. Hilariously, the Javits Center, where Hillary Clinton had her election night party, they pulled $15 million in inflated concrete costs out of the Javits Center. They, meaning the Gambino family. So they were everywhere at that time. So it's when I hear Trump saying like, yeah, there's some pretty nice people. It's like, you've dealt with them, haven't you? Because you can't be huge in construction in New York, especially Manhattan, and not be. They run it. They run the unions still to the day. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of funny and interesting the way that works.
I just think there's too many times we've seen lately. Now I'll have to go back and watch the interview with Letterman. But too many times lately, it's like Trump will make a joke and they're like, can you believe he said that? And they report it because if you just write it down, Trump calls himself the chosen one, like, kind of douchebag does that? But then you actually see the interview the press conference where he did it, and it's like, oh, he was fucking joking around. It's not lying to say he said that. It's entirely disingenuous to not point out he was telling a fucking joke at the time. Anyway.
I told you, there's no jokes anymore. It's all dead serious.
It depends on who's doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's not Sarah Silverman. So.
Right. You know, I was just about to say Sarah Silverman was just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
She's just joking around. She's just a nice girl, didn't do nothing.
Well, they also present the grab her by the pussy as though he was like, yeah, man, I just fucking rape women all the time. He was joking around with somebody. The idea that he actually does that, does he? Not that anybody's ever actually accused him of. But he made a joke to somebody about how easy it is for him to get women. Yeah, just walk up and grab him by the pussy. Yeah.
Listen to their hot take, and this isn't even in the opinion section. This is in the news section. Robert De Niro drops F-bomb on critics of his anti-Trump stance live on CNN. Is that what happened?
Did you see that clip?
Yes, I have. That's not what happened. He said, well, you know, are you at the Golden Globes? Fuck him.
Yep, fuck him.
Like he was just repeating himself as an angry old man. He wasn't talking about critics of his anti-Trump stance. He was simply repeating himself. Nice twist there, The Guardian, but that's what they do.
It was funny seeing Stelter trying to, hey, look, we're not going to get in trouble for that, but please, this is a family show, man.
It's like, okay, well, there's not an FTC violation, but, you know, this is Sunday morning.
Yeah.
The Sabbath and all. I'm sure that's what Stelter meant, you know.
You got shamed by Brian Stelter.
Yeah. I love Tucker Carlson's take on that. He was like, but, you know, in the end, it was okay. It's not like many people were watching. Oh, Tucker, you son of a bitch. You.
No, because up there, Peter's talking about the whole grab him by the pussy thing. I once suggested on air that it's okay to urinate on a baby. And if you just took my words that I said and wrote them down, that looks really, really bad. But if you go back and actually watch and see the joking manner in which it was said, it's a little different. And we've talked about that. We talked about this with Schiff the other day, because Schiff's comments to the Intelligence Committee at the beginning of the hearing with the Director of National Intelligence, he gave his interpretation of Trump's phone call. And he absolutely lied in what he said. But right before he said it, he goes, the president had a call where he basically said, and then gave his version of events. So it's not like he actually said what Trump said.
Right.
He didn't say that's what Trump said. It's basically what Trump said. It's a little different. There's this wiggle room you can do if you're a super douchebag, where you can actually tell what's basically a lie without actually lying. Move over, Disney. Meet the woman leading the LGBT cartoon revolution.
A gaiety in the geek world, Rebecca Sugar is shaking up animation with a gender-neutral hero, an army of non-binary women, and the first lesbian wedding on kids' TV. Again,
Is that what kids' TV was missing?
the Guardian.
I can't wait till the first lesbian scissoring on kids' TV.
Right. Give them time.
All you got to do is poke around for a few minutes. It's not even hard to find this stuff. I was clicking on the top tabs, opinion, and then I went over to sport, and it was some gay sports here, and then I went over to culture, and it was this, and it's like, you guys are complete ideologues broadcasting your worldview, trying to shape society. This isn't news. Shaking it up. Did anyone even notice until Yomi Yomi Foreign said
Nobody cared.
Yeah, I mean,
once again, I'm being asked about Stacey Dash. I've given my opinion on this several times. Last time, guys, if anybody else missed it, I'm going to refer them to the last 4 streams. I think Stacey Dash deserved to be arrested for what she did. I don't think that her man, whatever it was, got hurt in any real way. Because it was a woman slapping him and pushing him. And if you read the articles, they try to make it sound so bad because there were scratches on where she pushed him. But the severity of the injury is not what's important. It's the fact that she assaulted the man. And I do believe in equality, and I think that women get off way too easy in our society when it comes to shit like this. People be like, well, it's just a girl who hit him. Well, if he had punched her back, she'd have a big black eye, and all we'd be hearing about him is him being in prison right now.
Oh, excuse me, she'd have an African American eye.
Yes, she's with a blue tint.
Yes.
She even looks hot in her mugshot, monkey. Jesus.
Her mugshot, actually, I mean, she's got a pimple or two there. She's still cute. Don't get me wrong, for a 52-year-old woman.
Older than that now. She had like dirt on her face, though. Like this is after the scuffle. Yeah.
No, the things say she's 52.
Oh, really? I thought it was like 52 when we were talking like a year ago. So I figured 53 or more by now.
Maybe she's coming up on a birthday, but yeah, all the articles I saw on this is that she's 52. It sucks that Stacey Dash is in the news for this because I do find her incredibly hot, but. If a woman hits a man like that, laws are laws. And if that's how we're going to live as a society, which I think is probably a good idea, then good. I'm glad he called the police on her. Because as a man, it's got to be a hard thing to do. If my wife slapped me and pushed me, I don't know that I'd call the police. Be like, bitch, leave me alone. And I'd just go away.
So the Guardian, right? Hot take. Why so stupid? How the Joker film is too juvenile to be provocative. And they suggest another article in a different section of their paper. Joker strives to capture our cultural moment, but it's smug and banal at heart. Was it striving to catch? No, it wasn't. Y'all are fucking crazy. Is what's going on. It's completely a media generated thing in and around the Joker. That's it. Nobody out there sitting there thinking it's going to be a call to action for the inside. You made that up. You made that up. And now you're making up a reaction to your own media circus's reaction.
No, Warner Brothers made up that nonsense because they know that if they stir people up, people go check it out just to see what the controversy is about.
Connor Johnson, thank you. Did you hear that BoJack Horseman is ending? No, I've never even seen the show. Last I did see they were getting that the new season had come out or something, but yeah, I don't follow.
Yeah, Netflix is canceling a bunch of their stuff.
And Richo asked if I think celebrities shit on Trump because they're pedos and they're scared because Trump has taken down more pedos than the last 3 presidents combined. The president's job isn't to take down pedos. That would be his Justice Department. I think
Chris
Hansen. Yeah, that's what we have Chris Hansen for. No, they don't like him because they're hardcore leftists, and he's not.
Well, some of it's also because they're trying to get jobs, and that they're surrounded by other people that are virtue signaling, so they got to look the part, and they're just mimicking a lot of times. But yeah, I bet some of them are perverts.
Now, okay, Becca asked me if I was going to check the hashtag, and I did. And this is one that Becca sent. And I got to ask y'all something. Does she just have the poofy puss, or is that some balls right there? Right there in the gap.
Who's this?
I don't know. This is a picture Becca sent in. I liked the picture until I saw that poof there, and I'm like, oh, wait, is that balls?
That might be her puffy lips.
It might be, and I'm hoping it is, because otherwise that is a very nice looking woman.
That dude's got nice ass in that case.
Dude, man, I had that happen to me in Walmart one day. Me and Lady Monkey were walking in like, damn. And then it turned around and had a beard and mustache. I was like, fuck.
And now I'm gay.
Now I'm gay. My hair took over for a few minutes. I'm sorry. I did not mean to get us out. Becca, that's Becca's fault. Becca, how dare you? Oh, wow. Becca, you don't have to go sit in the corner because you sent other stuff too. Oof. Oof. You guys will have to check the hashtag for that.
Yeah, Evil One always sends in some really good pics too.
What is this? Oh, dear God. This one is from Massive Dynamics. Hillary Clinton, gutsiest thing she ever done was to stay in her marriage. Really? Really?
What's it?
Look, you stayed in your marriage because you had higher dreams. You were riding those cum-stained coattails all the way as high as you could. And we all know it. We all know it. Because it was his turn. That's what her turn was. It wasn't just a female going into the White House. It was Bill had his turn. Now it was her turn. You lying bitch. Oh. And look at that kid. That Chelsea don't look nothing like Bill.
It's hard to tell. She's so ugly.
She really is. She really is. She does look a lot like her mom, but yeah. U.S. Oh wait, hang on. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Falling Down was Joker with less makeup, probably better movie. Are you guys interested in Joker?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go see it.
Polly?
I'm probably gonna go see it. It's not so much like in and around the movie. It's just I'm not a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix. That's all.
I'm a take it or leave it kind of person with Joaquin. For me, I don't like the style that it looks like. This looks like a bad 70s movie.
It feels like it's gonna be like long and depressing. I don't know. That's the vibe I got off of it.
Yeah, I really have no desire to see this one. Keeping in my tradition of, it's a DC movie. Huh.
Well, that Birds of Prey looks horrific. So maybe Joker will be decent.
Which one is it? Birds of Prey. I saw the thing and I don't remember what it's for.
Yeah, it's about Harley Quinn and
yeah,
a couple other heroes that aren't even in costume.
Yeah, I remember.
The trailer came out today. Polly, if you haven't seen it, we got to make Quiz watch it because he's gonna cry.
For which trailer?
Birds of Prey.
Oh, really?
Full trailer dropped today.
Which Harley is it? Is it what's her name? Is it Robbie?
Yeah.
Is she still? Is she still mostly naked?
Yeah, it kind of looked like she was wearing the Daisy Dukes, but I don't know. She doesn't do the accent very well, and I don't know. It just looked like a rah-rah girl power kind of thing. It looked really boring. and the commercial is just painful to sit through.
Oh wow, that picture of her that's this still for it is disturbing.
Yeah, she looks like an old lady with like from the Victorian era or before that, where they'd cake on the grease paint.
Yeah. Wow. She kind of looks like the lead singer of an 80s hair band after a meth binge.
Yeah, she looks like David Lee Roth with some cocaine wiped all over his face.
Yeah, that's not attractive, sweetheart.
No, and she's just kind of, her voice is super annoying through the whole trailer. And it's just everything about it hit the wrong notes. The pacing's terrible. The music's obnoxious. Black Mask doesn't even wear a mask.
Get this. Here's the 4 columnists that they published for this week, okay? Aberson, Thrasher, Frank, and Valenti. The famous Jessica Valenti. Oh, you got a super chat there, Monkey.
Thank you, Snubbirth. I saw a argument that Joker is the culture SJW claim. Let me try that again. I'm sorry, Snub. I saw an argument that Joker is the culture SJW's claim to preach on their own, aka how society isolates and alienates into toxic behavior. And since it doesn't inspire sympathy to them, they hate it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I haven't seen the movie. I can't judge.
Yeah, from what I got of the trailers, it looks a lot like a guy that just doesn't fit in. It's got a real Taxi Driver look to it. And I'm surprised nobody's making parallels to that the way they probably should be. But
I've heard a lot of people say that.
Really? I haven't heard anyone say it. The comics crowd really hasn't made that comparison. Because Taxi Driver really is the incel movie, if you really want to look at from that perspective. It doesn't fit in, and nobody wants to try and be friends with him or be nice to him even. And he just gets eaten up by the city.
Excuse me. I'm not ignoring what you said there. I was yawning.
No,
Yeah, somebody else said it earlier. To me, yeah, it looks like Falling Down, but with the Joker. But grittier because it's not a. I hate the lighting and everything that I see in it, and I'm a big person. I have to be able to enjoy the imagery, or I'm not gonna be able to enjoy the fucking movie.
Yeah, it definitely has like a kind of a grindhouse look to it.
Yeah. Look, he's living in a flop house. Yay!
Yeah, I'll probably go see it. I mean, if I could go to the cheap theater and see it.
Now, who's Jessica Valente? Why do I know that name? Polly?
What?
You were saying that the columnist, one of them was Jessica Valente. Why do I know that name?
She is a long-standing feminist columnist. A lot of UK YouTubers because she's got incredible fodder for content. Sargon has done a number of videos about her stuff. For example, her column this week is called "The Week in Patriarchy: Women are Strong When We Stick Up Together." When we stick up together, huh? Must be a phrasing in the UK to say it that way. The columns, their titles are as follows: Trump settled bar for other deluded billionaires flirting with a 2020 run. Next, Kevin Hart fueled a dangerous trope: the unenlightened black homophobe. Next, can liberals please work out how to win back the working class? And then finally, the one that I said of Jessica Valenti's. Followed by the most popular one trending right now is strong, smart teen girls like Thunberg have had enough. No wonder men like Trump are rattled.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Like,
Nobody's rattled by that bitch.
And the one that kills me the most is this Arwa Mahadawi wrote an article on we shouldn't be scared of the clitoris. Arwa Mahadawi, Middle Eastern woman, a woman of Middle Eastern extraction at the least, is writing an article on how we shouldn't be scared of the clitoris because that is dangerous. That joke writes itself, doesn't it?
Now, to be fair, it's hard to be scared of the clitoris when they cut it off with a plane.
I said the joke makes itself, Jack.
I know, but I wanted to make the joke.
Who's scared of the clit?
I know. It's just like of you of all people. Did you mention female mutilation, female genital mutilation in your article? No, of course you didn't. It's the center picture is from when Harry met Sally when she goes into her fake orgasm scene. You know the one?
Yeah. What's that have to do with the clit?
Just, well, women having orgasms, there's nothing wrong with that. And we should really be more open to it and consigning the clitoris to being, hushed tones where people don't really talk about it is dangerous because, and it's like, and are you going to mention female genital mutilation or not? No, you're not. And everyone is thinking the same thing, Arwa, when you write that. But she achieved her crowning glory this week with this one. Forget the badasses. Let's not whitewash the impeachment push. CNN has called 5 white congresswomen the leaders of impeachment, erasing the black and brown voices that blaze the trail. What the fuck? You made the impeachment process racial.
Yeah, of course.
And the first sentence reads like fanfic. In a world, it actually starts that way, Jack.
You have to say it right. In a world.
In a world where an orange supervillain is menacing democracy, a small group of progressive congresswomen of color have been valiantly fighting to bring him down.
With their scary clits.
That's actually the first fucking sentence.
It's their scary clits that made it happen, you guys.
Oh, well,
True story.
it's
I read that in a comic book. That's Ocasio-Cortez's secret power.
there you go. Let's just take a look at the scary clit in question.
Look, because I have to talk about this. The idea that women's orgasms are fine. It's cool. If you guys want to have one, go ahead, knock yourselves out. But we need to talk about the clit. Why? We don't. When was the last time you heard a in-depth discussion about the head of the penis?
There's the clit in question, monkey. That's the truth. See, I wasn't making it up. In a world where an orange supervillain, like Arwa, you lost, girl. You fucking lost. You're writing fanfic and calling it an opinion column.
This is sweetheart.
Isn't what?
She's Asian.
No, I mean, isn't this a British paper?
Yeah.
Yes, but this is the U.S. news section. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the Guardian, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed the font.
Yeah, it's if we just scroll up, see, it's Guardian. But this is the U.S. edition, because I mean, if you read the Guardian, they have no shortage of opinions on Trump. You know, somebody asked for the article the link to the article, and there it is in chat.
No, I want to talk. Just because you women have something on your body that you enjoy, and you should enjoy the clit. I've always had fun with it. Doesn't mean it has to be a national conversation. Just because there's a part of your body or something your body does, doesn't mean it has to be a national conversation.
No, this is typical women. They're always talking about themselves. Like, me, my fucking problems, listen to me. Help me, get me an ambulance. My hair's on fire, blah, 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 blah.
Let me out of here. Yeah, I know.
I actually stole that joke from somebody else.
Well, it's a good one. I kind of disagree with that. Like, it's like Jessica Valenti should be relegated to like a small weird corner of the internet, blasting her weirdo blog opinions. The fact that the Guardian would pick her up just shows the direction that mainstream news operates from. It's radical left weirdos.
Well, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it's like Jessica Valenti, she's a nut bar. All she wants to talk about is the patriarchy week after week after week after week. Like, the people have been making fun of her. Sargon's used her as comedic mining material for like 2-3 years now. And I don't blame them, because look at the circulation the Guardian has. And that's the whole point. We're going to get these people in here. We're going to, these are marginalized voices. No, those are fringe voices. Polls show it again and again and again. not more people identify as anti-feminists in the UK than as feminists. You are the fringe. This is not the someone who's being oppressed and marginalized. You're nut bars.
Real quick, thank you, X Bubba Hotep. Am I the only one thinking of the Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back scene? I am the master of the clit. I've only seen the movie once, and it was a long time ago. So yeah,
He's the clit commander. Ebony Williams said, "This is why you have no woman or friends." I don't think that's why, because I made a few jokes. No, there's lots of reasons.
It's a multivariate set of reasons.
Yeah, and I have friends. They're just all assholes like me.
Well, Ebony also said to me, "Why do you punish yourself, or more importantly, us, with this nonsense?" Yeah, I mean, I just closed the browser
because it's
anyway.
fun.
Well, because it's fun, and it's like these fruitcakes have control over a very large, very widely broadcast forum, and that blows my mind. And there's a lot of comedy how seriously bizarre fringe people are taken. Where if it was in any other direction, people would be pointing out, why are you broadcasting somebody who only represents 1/100th of 1% of all the people out there, as if it's the mainstream.
I think it's more mainstream than you want to believe. Just because people, like in the US, the number of people who identify as feminists is like way the fuck down. But when you talk to them about feminist ideas, the kind of things that feminists will say, they agree with it. They just won't call themselves a feminist anymore because it's got a negative connotation to it. I don't think it's as fringe as you want to think. And even if it is as fringe, it catches on very quickly. If you had said female penis 10 years ago, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? And now it's something that people are actually arguing as a thing, and it's picking up steam. Is it because they get this loud sounding board? Maybe.
Well,
but
people
I
may
think
be familiar with the term. Accepting of the idea is a different thing.
Perhaps. I don't know. I think the world's more fucked than we want to believe.
Well, let's face it, dumb people breed a lot. And so they have a lot of dumb kids. And those dumb kids are going to pick up dumb stuff. And they're going to learn all this stupid shit.
Boomers didn't stop having babies when they should have. And we have a whole bunch of Downsy eggs running around out there voting and buying and repeating. It's a Downsy egg world, man. It is a Downsy egg world.
I am rewriting the lyrics to Barbie from Aqua in my head right now with Downsy. It's a Downsy world. I'm a Downsy girl.
That would be awesome, but I think we'd get kicked off YouTube for that.
Yeah.
Have you considered the possibility that they're weirdos? There are some, and there's some stuff we end up seeing in these papers and stuff where people do just end up disappearing because they get too weird. It's not that common.
Yeah, they end up over at Vox.
Yeah.
Or contractual columnists for the New York Times.
Oh man, what I'd like to know what was behind that, because I don't really believe it was. I think it was something much more mundane, that she was probably just incompetent at her job. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, we went through all this shit over this woman, and she turned out to be a fucking hack. You know what I mean? I can see it.
I think what it is that at least on her Twitter, it certainly seemed like she was supporting the idea of canceling the New York Times.
Oh, really? You think? Really?
Yeah. Now, I didn't find one where she specifically said it, but like, just the way some of her posts read is like, ooh. That's
you mean in like the current hashtag cancel?
Yes.
And
yes.
She was writing in. So you think it was that's it? An interesting thought. I hadn't considered that.
And again, there's not one where she's like, cancel the New York Times. But there was one post that I read where she's like, they care more about losing subs than they do other things. So it's actually a very productive thing to do. I'm like, does your boss know you're telling people that?
Oh, you're not wrong. Like, there are things that can temporarily distract businesses, like, and New York Times is a business, right? From the goal, but the goal in the end is always to have a circulation, to have subscribers, to have people buying the papers, right? And why did they talk about Trump? Their leaked internal emails made it clear. Their subscription rates popped the fuck up. Why did Rachel Maddow get front and center and promoted the way that she did? Because she never shut up about Trump, and her ratings went up and up and up as we saw them drop off after the Mueller hearing. Or Mueller report came out. Right. And then after the Mueller report, New York Times, well, what are we going to do now? Again, leaked emails. We're going to go with this 1619 thing, and we're going to push the white supremacy thing because we need to keep something up. Yeah, they're aware. And get that? Their business model is to maintain a fever pitch on something. Really? For people that are really into the term sustainable, you guys don't really think these things through very well.
Yeah.
Well, what's the thing that everyone's gonna be nationally angry over? It was Trump. So what are we gonna write about now? Well, he's a white supremacist, like 1619. And this isn't me saying this. Their own leaked internal emails showed it. This is gonna be the new story we're gonna focus on, white supremacy. Fuck me.
That was, and that was the funny thing when that came out. They're like, no, that's not what that meant. Like, motherfucker, we can read it.
Yeah, I was attempting to dog whistle reverse. I said it, but that's not what I meant. I meant something else. Fucking hell. I find this cancel New York Times thing. I found it to be interesting that they were like, it was on some protect. Remember #protect Mueller?
Oh yeah.
When in the middle of the investigation, Trump's going to cancel the investigation. Then it was protect Rodberry. Rosenstein. Protect Rosenstein, because these guys are going to get fired. Trump's going to fire them. We need to protect them to allow the investigation to go through so we can prove that this guy's a Russian asset, et cetera, et cetera. I think that is the cancel New York Times because they revealed enough information you'd be able to find out who this the CIA officer who was detailed to the White House that did this, that was the whistleblower, right? That they publish enough information to be able to find out who that is. It's on some protect this person because she was trying to bring down this strange orange man. So we're willing, we're that angry at the New York Times. It's like, really? The megaphone for your own progressive ideas? Nobody is a better friend to you idiots than the New York Times, with the possible exception of the Washington Post. Like in terms of print old school legacy newspapers, nobody. But they were that quick to turn on them on some protect whistleblower shit. Wild. I don't believe for a second they care that much about protecting undercover officers' identities. As a principle, oh fuck, they don't fucking care. They don't care because the person was whistleblowing on Trump.
At this point, I would like to interrupt briefly and say we only have 73 likes on here. So
that's normal.
Be sure and hit like, share the video, and subscribe.
No, it's weird. If you go and look, people like the video, but not while we're doing it. They're like, I'm not sure I like what these fuckers are saying. And then later they're like, okay, it was all right. It was all right. By the way, yeah, the likes help when we're live, guys. Afterwards, YouTube doesn't care much. But hey, if you don't want to like, that's your business. I appreciate it if you do. Don't forget to support the gentlemen on the dais. They do good work here.
Not
and
really,
I can't pay them, so
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't really contribute anything useful most of the time.
Well, you guys sucking so much makes me look better.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So you that is a valuable commodity to have.
So we're your ugly friends, so you look pretty by comparison. God
no,
damn it.
not just you're my fat ugly friends.
Oh shit.
I gotta take medicine. Sorry, guys.
I gotta grab a drink. I'll be back in just a second. Jack, it's all you, buddy.
Oh, awesome. What are you guys up to out there in chat? Like,
anyway, Jack.
Yes.
What's been on your mind these last few days? Twitter's weird right now. There's nothing's coming up in trending. That's odd.
I'm pretty boring. I haven't done a whole lot. I've been kind of doing a lot of stuff in real life, so I haven't had a chance to really mess around on the internet. I did realize today, though, that like the last week of videos that were supposed to come out, I accidentally scheduled for next year.
Oops.
So there's an entire week worth of videos I got to reschedule. So I should have those up in the next couple days. But mistakes happen.
Something's weird going on with the Twitter machine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you get suspended?
I may have, but if so, they haven't got it to me yet. No, if I go to the Explorer, everything comes up as this page is empty. Or sorry, this page doesn't exist.
Oh, that's weird.
My notifications are stuck.
Hey, I got that too. I clicked explore and said, sorry, this page doesn't exist.
Oh, I wonder if they've broken it. Did the wrong hashtag trend again? Uh-oh. I did see Tim Pool pissed off the feminist by saying that he likes younger women. That's funny. Well, look, you can't please a feminist.
Yeah.
That's just fact, man. Their clits are broken. They don't work. Far says Twitter's having major issues right now. Well, I have to be careful because I get suspended from time to time. I think I've been pretty okay with this abortion thing, other than being racist and sexist in that first tweet, which is funny because you're not going to get me in trouble for being racist against white people. Good luck. Good luck with that, haters. Go tell them how I made a joke at white women's expense. You might get me on the sexism, but drop the racism. They're never going to buy it. Did any of you see Robert De Niro? Yeah, we talked about De Niro just a little while ago. Monkey's cousin's Twitter account. Yeah, hang on to that one, guys. It's Angry Monkey 422. But yeah, you can never please a feminist because they're stupid. If modern feminists are just stupid. They really are. They are spoiled, stupid cunts. And you don't have to like that, but it's true. They're not about equality. They're not about making sure the sexes are actually treated equal. They're about women being both the strongest thing in the universe and the most fragile egg that needs to be protected. The Downsy egg that needs to be protected. Because they're a bunch of Downsies.
Yeah. Do you think when a Downsy kid is delivered, they use the short operating room?
They use the short table. Did you just take ibuprofen or your nerve blockers? I took the ibuprofen. I took my nerve blockers earlier during the show. When I mentioned that I was... Yeah, no, I remembered which one I needed to take. I needed to take the pain ones because, my hands are hurting. That's a sucky thing. Is like, I want to play video games when I'm done, but I don't know if I can because my hands hurt. It's like, I'm in too much pain to play video games. What kind of shit is that, universe?
That's called arthritis.
Yeah, dick bags.
Is this controller games, or are you a mouse or keyboard guy? I've never asked.
I'm a mouse and keyboard guy.
Yeah? Okay.
Controllers are almost harder to do sometimes, though, because you're basically just with your thumbs. And at least with mouse and keyboard, I can switch fingers if I need to. Because you usually use your middle finger for up and back and all that, but I can switch to my ring finger if I have to.
But you're I don't know. I thought a good part of video games was being able to like lay back semi-conscious and just grind out a game. How do you do that if you got to sit up and use a mouse and keyboard?
I lean back and do it.
Wait, you got the keyboard on your stomach?
No. The way my chair, I can slide my chair up under my drawer for my keyboard. And
oh, okay.
The mouse and keyboard on his stomach. Jesus, probably not everybody's an otter like you.
No shit. I'll crush you on my tummy.
Yeah.
I want to watch that again. The two-parter, Go God Go.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
My favorite part of that episode is the end, where it's not Hawking. Who's
Richard Dawkins?
Dawkins, thank you. Finds out that Mr. Garrison used to be a man, and that changes everything in the future. Suddenly, everything changed because I ain't fucking that again. That's my favorite part of that episode.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
I'm looking for something right now. I apologize.
Oh my science.
Oh my science. I love the part also where Cartman says, "Oh my God," when he's first there. It's at the end of the first episode, and the guy, haha, you believe in a fictional being, and then his head explodes.
Yeah.
Trying to find the there's this desk that I was gonna say Cartman, but no, Scribe told me about.
Big
And,
difference.
and I forget what it's called, but it is this motorized computer chair that has a built-in desk with it, and up to room for up to 6 monitors in front of you, and the whole thing just turns and slides with you, so you can get as laid back as you need to while still being in the position to use your computer. And I desperately want one, but it costs like $6,000.
You could
Irate
probably.
Bear would like you to tuck him in, Monkey.
A what?
He said he'd
Alex
like you
is
to
going
tuck
to
him
bed
in.
soon. He wants you to tuck him in
Yes.
with your sweet voice, I imagine.
Good night, sweetheart. Get yourself some good sleep. Sweet dreams, baby. Mwah. Love you.
Wow.
Good enough?
Good, but creepy.
Good night to the monster under the bed, too.
Good night, sweetheart. Anyway, fuck is the name of that desk? No, it's a really cool desk, man. I would want one even if I wasn't crippled. But yeah, Scribe keeps going. You should have a fundraiser for that. No. I'm not raising $6,000 for a computer desk. Now,
Why not?
when I eventually need that that adjustable bed that I won't ever be able to get out of, then what's going on? Was that it? Was what it? Monkey is 6K away from joining the Walmart people in style. No, it doesn't have wheels on it. Desk for cripples. What if that
Stephen Hawking desk?
5 office furniture tips for disabled people. Ooh. Let's see what they got. Oh, that's not interesting. That's a stupid article. You should get in trouble for writing that. Yeah, I can't find it. I'll have to have Scribe send it to me again. You guys got to see this thing. It's like high tech as shit. It's awesome too. One more fall down the stairs and you will have a reason to buy it. Nah, I'll be fine. How long till the missus has to carry you? I'm way too big for Lady Monkey to carry me anywhere. The one time I passed out in the shower, I don't know if I've told you guys that story, but I passed out in the shower and she was in the bathroom at the same time and actually caught me. But she barely was able to hang on to me and I just kind of slid down the shower wall. Yeah, I felt so bad for her because she's a little woman, man. And I'm a big motherfucker. I'm going to give Monkey the biggest bollocking when next I speak to him. Why? What I did wrong? I thought I tried to do it right. What I did wrong? I feel like I'm in trouble for things I didn't do.
Well, to be fair, you probably did it, but you just don't know what it is.
But I feel like that's not fair.
Life's not fair.
I gotta remember that I'm disabled. I'm not crippled. You're not allowed to be crippled anymore. Because if you're crippled, then there's something wrong with you.
Disabled. Sounds like
is
you
that
have
the reasoning?
tire.
Well, yeah, it's a bad thing to be a cripple. That's an insult.
Oh,
yeah. The correct wording is disabled, because if you're disabled, even though if you have the same condition, if you're disabled instead of cripple, it makes that condition so much better.
Yeah, but cripples get the good parking, the crippy squares.
I thought it was differently abled.
It was for a while. It was. And then they changed it to go ahead.
Differently abled sounds like you have an extra arm or something.
Yeah. It makes you sound even worse. Why can't I find this desk? That's bothering me. You guys got to see it. It's like I would actually make it up. Remember the other day you were talking, I don't know if it was you guys. Somebody was talking about how I think it was you, Polly, where they should put me in the Darth Vader thing from Empire. And I could actually build that around this desk and just sit in there, and it's cool looking. Anyway, reach around would be nice. You didn't ask for that originally. That's not my fault. Oh, all right, guys. We're almost at 2 hours. We're going to wrap up here. Emily says, I hate being a bill-paying adult. It beats being a child who's told what they have to do all the time. Although that's changed these days. Children run the world now. From straws to climate change, they are the smart ones, apparently. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out on this Monkey in the Morning Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. And thank you so much for the donations. I really do appreciate those. I cannot tell you how much I am humbled by your generosity. Speaking of generous, Jack.
Yes.
You're very generous, man. Let me give a little back. What would you like to shill today?
I think everybody should go check out Psycho Rick's new video on Bloody Mary.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty solid stuff. Plus, I'll be on Polydub's channel later tonight.
Woohoo!
Which he'll tell you more about right about now.
Polly, what's on your pimp hand?
There's the link to my channel where Jack and Quincy and myself every Wednesday do comic book curation where we talk in and around comic books and all the fun politics and every other goddamn thing going on with it. Actually, after watching a video on comics, the chat got me thinking. They started talking about Comicsgate, so I'm gonna have some hot takes tomorrow. We'll see where that goes. Other than that, yeah, there's Noir Bar over on my channel, late night hangout stream where all sorts of fun frivolity happens. Hilarity, mirth, wine, women, song, that sort of thing. So yeah, check it out. See what you think. Help me finally break 800. I'm forever hovering in the 790s. I'll get some more subs, and then I'll put up a screw tape letters read, and then they'll go down, and so
You still have almost double me, so
wow, it's just hilarious. The closer I get to 800, and then I'll lose like 6 subs when I post a video, and it's like, Jesus, I thought more regular content was supposed to help. Nope, not at all.
James says it's Wednesday until Polly pulls another ranting monkey. Look, he's got to get better at it. It was his first major fall. He'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, got to tuck and roll and stay loose. Don't tighten up.
And go with the flow. Don't fight that fall, man. That's where people get hurt.
Yeah, you try and fight it, and you end up getting all stiff. You got to be all loose.
Yeah,
that's why drunks are never hurt in car crashes.
And make sure you stretch first, Polly.
Stretch before I accidentally fall down the stairs.
Yeah. It's just it's good practice.
Yeah, cardio is good for you.
Let's see. Tonight is Wednesday. We'll be on my channel 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. We are probably going to be playing some more Code Vein over on, Code Vein. Vein Code. Shit, I can't remember which way that name goes. I think it's Code Vein. Over on 2 Cents Plus afterwards, maybe. So tune in tonight to find out. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. Polly, Jack, thank you guys for joining me. Everybody, enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.